Hello, my stamping friends. It is Jen and it is Friday, March the 14th. Wow, halfway through March and close to St. Patrick's Day. I wish I could tell you, so there's a hair on my screen here. I wish I could tell you I was going to make you a St. Patrick's Day card, but I had promised Easter, so that's what I'm going to stick with. But I'm actually going to do an adaptation today because I think this card would be a very beautiful birthday card too. So thank you for joining me. If you're new here, hello. I go live every Friday and do a Stampin' Up card from start to finish here on Facebook and also on YouTube. And if you are joining me, please let me know where you're joining me from, whether you're watching the replay later. What I like to do is I like to start with a draw from the card I made the week before. So the week before I made this cute little Easter card here. And here, let me just bring it in closer so you can see it. We made it with a napkin, if you can believe it. And so I made this adorable little card. And I had another little sample here. And then I also had this one that I made from a napkin too. So they're just beautiful because they look like they're designer series paper, but I promise it is a napkin. Here's, oh, do I have that? No, I don't even have the napkin here anymore. So I'm going to do a draw for the one that I made live, which was this one. So it does say Happy Easter on it. And I've got a draw here set up. So let me just share my screen and then we'll get going. So anyone who liked, commented, and shared on that post is automatically in this draw. And that's how you get in on the draw for today's card too. Okay, so let's start. And as long as you're Canadian and not a demonstrator, you can win. So Vicky, hello Vicky, you have won this card, so congratulations. And Vicky said, in 2023, one of my favorite card making friends showed us the napkin technique. It was so fun to do when we used tacky spray or LePage spray adhesive. And then she said more, but oh, I don't know if I can see that all. But also like your method. Oh, and she showed some cards there too. So go check out her comment. That's awesome. I'm going to stop sharing there for a second and jump back. So congratulations, Vicky. And again, to get in on this week's draw, all you have to do is comment, like, or share. And I'm going to just jump right to my solo layout here. And I'm going to bring in the stamp set that I'm going to use. And I'm going to say hello to Vila and Nicole. Hello, ladies. I love to see you guys on here. You just make my day, let me tell you. Okay, so I'm using this stamp set. It's called Mixed Florals, and it's one that you've seen me use before because I think it's stunning. I know we all have lots of flower sets, but this is particularly nice because these are really large. So you can see here the size of the tulips. That's what I'm going to use. I've used the daisy. It's got some floral stuff, and then it actually has these cute little ladybugs, which I have yet to use, but they're so cute. There's like 3 of them, so I should sprinkle them in somewhere. So I'm doing that. I've got this great big stamp. So this is on block. I think it's E. Let me just see if I can find it here. Yeah, block F. So it is the largest block that we have. It's always a good block to have for either these big stamps or if you wanted to combine a few words or something on a stamp. It's always a good thing. I know I'm looking for a black and I don't know where it is, but that's okay because I've already pre-stamped it. So I just stamped this with black memento ink. I always like it to dry for a few minutes first before I start coloring it, and coloring it is what I'm going to do. And my intention was to get this all colored so I would have one ready to die cut out right away before the live, but of course that did not happen. I find my days these days, so I'm going to start coloring, and I'll talk about the coloring as I'm going. But if you've got questions, holler, please. So this is dark petal pink, actually, that I'm starting with here. And I squished myself. I'm actually going to rearrange my office this weekend. I said to my husband, I'm so tired of being cramped in a little wee space when I'm trying to color. There we go. Now I've got room for my elbows. That I've got an idea of how I want to rearrange this a little bit. And it's only when I'm doing my lives that I'm all cramped in. So I just want to fix that. So I'm just putting the dark petal pink on here. And I'm going to go with the light petal pink. So my days these days, if you're not bored of my rehab story yet, because it's been going on for 2 months, I'm at 8 weeks post-op of my knee replacement surgery. And I really thought after 2 weeks I would be fine because I had my first knee done about 4 years ago. And you can't see too much differentiation in that color, maybe a little bit near the bottom. So I'm going to, now that it's saturated, I'm going to go back in with the dark, and I'm going to add along where I think it might be darker, maybe at the top and at the bottom here, some more petal pink, maybe inside that petal, I'll hold this up and against in a minute so you can see. So anyways, my first one, it was tough, but I know that I felt better after a couple of weeks. But this one has just taken so much longer. I'm also going to go in with some Calypso Coral, light Calypso Coral, and just add that in a little bit too here, just to really bring through the pretty, pretty orange color. And I don't want that to just sit there like the globs. So I'm going to go back in with my light petal pink. This is the way I seem to tell stories. I don't know about you. As I get older, I think I tell squirrely stories. Yeah, the rehab for this has been a lot different. And so I have been now going to rehab every single day. And so it's a lot. And it exhausts me. Exhausts me in a good way because I know I'm getting better. And so I'm going to take let's see here. I'm trying to remember what I did on my sample. I have a sample up here where you can't see it, just because I like to keep the surprise for the finish. I'm going to start with the light. Oh, I know what I did. I started with Granny Apple Green. And yes, okay, so I'm going to run a strip of Granny Apple Green down the middle of these stems here just to give it some brightness because this is a really bright color. So yeah, rehab every day. 3 days a week I'm in a rehab pool, and then the other 2 days a week I'm actually with a physio in the gym. And so it's just been exhausting. So I find my mornings are taken up by that, and often in the afternoon I have to, if not have a nap, at least rest because I am quite exhausted. So yeah, and now that it's nice weather and stuff, I want to actually get outside and walk. And I got the all clear from my surgeon, who I saw yesterday afternoon, to drive. So I'm very excited about that. That gave me a whole new level of freedom. I haven't driven for over 2 months, so I was very excited to drive myself to therapy today. So anyways, all that to say that I ended up doing a few errands after therapy, so then it was kind of a rush back, and I didn't get a chance to come back to this card and do it. So that was a light, soft seafoam. So let me hold that up so far so you can see. So it's very pretty. Hello, Donna. So yeah, time has been short, and I haven't had a lot of stamping time. I've tried to get some in. I'm going to go in with the dark seafoam and just over that middle, just to bring some of that color out a bit more. I don't want it perfectly colored. I kind of want it to have a little bit of a maybe watercolor look. So I'm just adding some darkness in here and there. Let some of that white show through. And I'm going to go in with the dark Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to color the stems because I feel that they would be darker. You can color these whatever you want. But that's the beauty. Even though there's only 2 flowers in this stamp set, they're like flower bunches, and you could color them so many different ways, then they would look different. I wonder if I still have it on my desk. I started with this as a pink because I wanted it to be kind of Eastery. But I decided, no, I like this petal pink better. It was softer. And then I did use Color Wheel here. Let me pull this out for a second. So here's my petal pink. And so a triadic color here. So that's petal pink. Is it showing on there? And then if I go here, it goes to Granny Apple Green, and then Misty Moonlight, which I'm going to use Boho Blue, which is just a lighter version of that. So that gives me my triadic color. And what do they say about triadic colors? Craft with colors that are evenly spaced around the color wheel. Go beyond the primary colors for something unexpected. So there you go. So I did use those to pull those colors. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my light Boho Blue and color all these little blue flowers. It's nice having a pink and a blue, but again, unexpected pink and blue, a more muted version of both of those. So tell me what you guys are all up to. What is new with you? Has anyone gone through these surgeries or other surgeries like that? It's funny because in my knee group, I'm part of a group here. And I think I'm going to use the dark Misty Moonlight for the centers here. There's quite a few people who are older than me and who are doing much better than me. And just to show you that it just, it doesn't matter. It's a very individual kind of circumstance. I think I need to add more color here. I had a more swollen knee and a bad physio right off the top. And then once I switched to a better place, things started moving along. And then once I started going every day, things started moving along. So I feel like I'm moving along now, finally, after weeks of kind of being very stagnant, so, and stiff. So it's definitely getting better. So I'm starting to feel way more normal, whatever normal means. Okay, so what do you think? How's that? Is it looking beautiful? Hello, Marina. How are you? Donna and June. Okay, so I'm going to also color in, I'm going to take my balmy blue. I could do the light boho blue because I'm going to end up putting this against a light blue paper. And so I just want the background to kind of melt in a little bit. So I often do an outline around the image anyways, just to make it really pop. But this time I'm going to put an outline. I'll move my hand so you can see what I'm doing around the whole image so that when I cut it out, there isn't kind of any white areas, because Stampin' Up! Dies are all, they have like a bit of a white edge, which is nice. It's a nice framing element, but I want this to kind of fade a little bit into the background. So I'm doing this, and it's easier to do it now than after I die cut it. Ask me how I know that. So if you're new to this, what I did was I stamped with Memento ink, which I don't know where I put. Here's another one. Stamped first with black Memento ink, this one here. All these things you can get from Stampin' Up, by the way. And then color. I'm coloring now with the Stampin' Up's Blends markers. They are alcohol-based markers, so they're nice and smooth, easy to blend, as you saw that I did with 3 colors on those tulips there. And they just come out really nice, not streaky, just really nice. If it's streaky right now, it's just, that's me, not the marker. And I love it. It is probably one of my favorite ways to color. But you do have to have each individual color. They come in a set of 2, so a light and a dark. So this is balmy blue, so it would be a light and then a dark version of it. So I did that on the petals of the flower first with the light petal pink, and then the dark petal pink, and then the granny apple green light and dark as well, and soft seafoam light and dark. And then I did add in Calypso coral, and I added in granny apple green to the soft seafoam. So you can mix the colors, which is nice too, and make all new colors, or soften or darken the colors. So I'm just getting all around here. Again, not going to be perfect because this flower has a nice sort of watercolor, almost watercolor kind of look to it. So if it's not perfect, that is okay. Okay, so like I said, my plan originally was to do this and then cut it out and have it all ready to go. I'm going to add a little bit more darkness just to the bottom here. When the paper is nice and saturated, like this is now, that color just kind of blends itself. And I don't think I'm going to need to add more ink to blend it out, but isn't that pretty? Now I see that these stems look really dark to me, so I'm going to just go in with the soft seafoam. Maybe add a little bit here to make them not look as dark. I'm making these ones darker. Maybe those ones won't look quite as dark. I definitely have the watercolor look going on here because these are not perfectly colored. The other thing you can do is you can take, let me find it here, a color lifter. So this is actually something that you can use to erase color if you go outside the line. Ooh, nice, sweet, but it lifts the color, and that can lighten it up a bit. I think on my original I did the light granny apple green. Let's see. I think that's looking pretty good. So you can see that. Hello to Nicole, and Laura says I love the colors. And Nicole says, Jen, for the email where you included the form to request the catalog, I can't open the form. It says you need access. Oh dear, that's not good. Okay, I'll fix that. Thank you, Nicole, for letting me know. And she also said, I'm glad you're feeling better. Thank you so much. Yes, it is. It's amazing how when you are, now see I'm talking, I'm going to start fiddling again. I'm just going to add more color right along the seams there. When you're not feeling well, how it affects your mental health. So, I mean, thank goodness we all have this wonderful hobby that can make us feel good and make other people feel good when we give them our creations. So I'm very thankful for that. Okay, so let me just bring in my machine. Again, it's much easier for me to get up and down these days. So I can get up and grab my machine. And I'm going to pull this up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. We'll just get rid of all this stuff here. Oh my goodness, if you could see my desk, you guys. I always say I'm going to take a picture, but I'm actually too embarrassed because it's quite a mess. Of course, now, where did that paper go? That's funny. Hello. Isn't that great? Hold, please hold. Oh, here's the pink. Here's the pink version that I started to do a few days ago. Well, isn't that great? Well, it's probably fell on the floor, and I think I see it. Do I see it? That's just beautiful. Okay, so let's pretend that I cut it out. Oh, there it is, right underneath. You guys are probably all yelling, it's underneath. Okay, I will see that in a minute. I'm going to take the dies for this. Is that the right one? Yes. And so I've got my plate 1, plate 2, plate 3, this, the dies. Now you need to lay them so that they're perfect and they don't move. We do not have a magnetic platform yet. If you have the old Big Shot, maybe you've got that one. Hopefully someday they'll get, breaking the tape in two with my teeth, a magnetic platform, but they don't have one yet. So I use this tape. It's on my website under products and Jen recommends. It is basically tape that is removable. So it's this here. I've shown it before, but just in case you're new. Does that come through? I think it does. I need a plate on top. Here we go. Here's one, and away we go through the machine. Okay, you can go either way. I'm just going to go back and forth just to bring it back here. Get the machine out of the way. Pull that back. Okay. I lose images to cut all the time. Donna says, well, thank you, Donna. You just made me feel better. Yeah. And again, just working in a little bitty space doesn't help here. Like literally, this is like a 1.5 foot wide. And then I've got the computer on my side here so I can see what I'm doing, and a case on the other side. So I want to open that space up a little bit. So there we go. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. Oh, you guys can't see up too high. Here, going down a little bit. Whee! Okay, so I'll just put that tape over there. I'm going to put my die away so I don't lose it. Look at all these other parts here. The little bit of flowers that you can cut out. And that ladybugs. So cute. Okay, so that's that. Now, I hope you saw my post. I had a reference to it in my newsletter. And Nicole, I will fix that. If I didn't say so already, I will fix that. I don't know why it says that. I'll fix it. But so you can request a catalog. Anyways, my post and the hint in the newsletter about the paper going up in price, white cardstock, is a shame because it is a cardstock that I use all the time. And I was often building my card bases out of white. But I think now that the white is going to be more expensive, I'm going to change my mind and build my bases out of my colored cardstock. And then I'm going to bring in pieces of white. So like this piece here. So I would just cut a little piece of white and then I can use all the rest of the white. Okay, I need to show you another product here. These are some new dies. They are called Textured Note dies, and they go with a new bundle. And you know what? I'm wondering here if I can share my screen. Let's see here. Share the screen. Let's see. Oh, yes, good. Okay, so this is the Stampin' Up! Store. I hope you can see that okay. So this is the bundle I'm using right now, Mixed Florals bundle, so you can get the dies and all that stuff. But if I search for Textured Notes, yes, here we go. So there's the dies that I have right here. And then there's a bundle and a suite. So let me just bring up the bundle so you can see it. So there's the stamp set, which I have here somewhere, and the dies. I'm actually going to go back because I'm going to show you this cool thing too. So here's the suite. So it has paper dies. So this is like everything that sort of matches and coordinates. This cool corrugated thing, again, is on my desk somewhere. I'll be making something with that soon, so you'll see it. But the dies are really cool. There's all these rectangles. And this is something new in the store. So if you click on this, it tells you all the different parts. And so if you just like want to look at that and say, oh, it's just really the paper that I like, you could just click on that and it would take you to the paper. And don't forget with paper too, it shows you every sheet so you can scroll through. There's one of 18. You can scroll through and you can see all the different papers and exactly what they look like. Anyways, I digress. Let me jump back here. Okay, and jump back here. So the dies. So these are really fun. I'm going to hold them up, so hopefully it'll focus on them. So you can see that it's got all these different textures on the rectangles. So when I cut out, because I pre-did this, here's a boho blue. So look at that texture around the edge. Very cool detail. So I did that one, whatever size that one was, and then I did the biggest one, and it has a different one. So again, I'm going to hold that up and let the camera focus for a second. See how cool that is? Very cool. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is, I always like some white on the, I can't believe that I've lost, oh there it is. I can't believe I've lost that again. I always like some white in the image. It just brightens everything up. So that's what this piece of white is going to be. Normally, like I said, it would have been my card base. Not always, but I often like to do a white card base. But I am going to change that and make a colored card base. Goodness knows I have lots of colors. And of course, if you have a color that's darker that you can't write on the inside, this one you could write on the inside, you just need to add a piece to the inside. That's all. And it could be white, or if you're not wanting to use up your white, you could use copy paper. Just, I want to do something else on this one. Like paper from a printer. That way you could even, if there's a long message you want to write, you could do that. Another new item to show you. It is not brand new. It was an online exclusive a little while ago. Elements of Text is still in the store, so it's got all these fun little scripty things and little splotches. So these are just great background pieces. So I've got one here, and I'm going to look at your comments here in a second. I'm going to move these out. Again, they're called Textured Notes Dies. And there's a stamp set too that I have, again, somewhere hiding on the desk. And I'm going to just ink this up, and I'm going to try and get it. You can't really read it, but I think this is the right side up. I'm just going to stamp that. This is boho blue on boho blue. And I'm even going to go back up in here. I'm not even going to worry if it matches up because the image itself will change it. But that's just like a little bit of a scripty thing in the background, just really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to leave that open. So I'm going to put this on here. Look how beautiful that looks. Again, if it had been white in the background, it would look fine, but I kind of like it that it kind of melts in a little bit better, if that's a word. So I'm going to add my dimensionals. And when you get down on your dimensionals, tell me if you guys do this. You use all the edge pieces too, like I'm about to do here. I don't want any of that good stuff to go to waste. Not that these things are expensive, but it is nice to just use them all up. So I just take my scissors. And they're actually good to use sometimes because sometimes you just want a bigger piece. Let's see, let's put another one here and another one here. That's lots of dimensionals. Roll this out of the way, and I'm going to see if I can see your comments. You put the machine on top of it. Yes, Nicole. Thank you. I should have read your comment. Gorgeous. I love tulips. I love the blue used in the background. Thanks, Eula. So that was balmy blue. And then this one here is boho blue. I'm just taking off the things. Just getting a little closer to the computer. I made the mistake of stamping the image in water-based ink. Yes, and when I use the markers, they bled. Yeah. So you do need to use Memento is what you need for that. My Moody Mauve did not look good. Would the Moody Mauve absorb the stamp pad ink? Yeah. So if you're going to use not an ink like Memento that's good for alcohol, just try to avoid touching the black lines if you can. And hopefully then you won't get too much bleeding. But really you do need to use with alcohol markers an ink like Memento. If you are going to do watercoloring, then you're going to use an ink like StazOn. And I had something like that in my newsletter recently, I think. Or is that one coming up? I'm not sure. I sort of have some of the topics all, done ahead of time. Some, please believe me, it's not all. But I think that was one. And plus you guys ask me good questions all the time. So then that makes me think of topics to put in. So that was a question someone had asked me recently about black inks. So if you're using blends markers, which are alcohol markers, then you need to use Memento because it won't bleed against that alcohol. If you're using a water pen or blender pen, then you're going to want to use StazOn ink, unless you can avoid those black lines. So this is just Petal Pink scallop ribbon. It's currently on low inventory. It is a very pretty ribbon. Check that out. See this nice scallop on there? So pretty. So I've just wrapped some of it around there. And I pre-put all that tape on there so that I could pop this on here. I love those rectangles. They are going to become one of my favorites. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more here because I want this to be a very pretty card. I'm going to make this into a bow. So however you need to tie a bow, I'm just using my fingers. Some people will take like the lid of a glue or something and tie it around there and then snip it off. I've just, after 20 years now, I can actually make a bow with the fingers, but I just do it loose as you saw at the beginning, just keep pulling it tight until I get the look that I want. And then always trim it with a nice pair of scissors. I keep scissors just for my ribbon. Did I freeze? Looks like I froze there for a second. Hopefully not. So I've just made a bow and I'm going to grab my glue dots and I'm going to pick up, oh, this one's almost empty. My glue dots here. Just push them against there and there. And I'm going to stick that on just like that. So this is a beautiful card. You could leave it without a greeting if you want, and it could be whatever you want. I happen to have the Happy Easter from last week that I didn't use, so that would be something you could put on there. I'm going to add something, which I didn't collect. We always get these little wee strips when you cut layers, so I always keep all these little wee strips. And I have here in my little itty bitty spot a Happy Easter. It's the same one that I used last week from this stamp set, Twisted in Time, or the one I showed you. I didn't actually use it, but this one's got a nice Happy Easter in it, which you could, like I said, use the ephemera pack. And I'm going to grab my boho blue and do Happy Easter. And I have another one to show you after that has a different reading, so I'll show you that. And I'm going to just trim this off. And I'm going to keep this because it's still good for another round of something. And you can do whatever you want here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut it. And then I'm going to just go around the little corners there. Like so. I'll do it over here too. Okay, and then I'm going to take a glue dot again. Maybe a couple. Let's do a couple so it's not moving anywhere. So you should be able to just press your thing against that and pick up the glue dots. I got one stuck down here. Let's grab that one too. Okay, and I'm gonna, so you can see they're on there. I'm gonna turn that like this, just tuck it in here. Oh, I think I might put a dimensional down there. Let's use one of these little ones. Take it right in here. Off my fingers. Use the scissors to. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'll hold everything up there in a second. So that one's going to hit paper, so I'm just going to use a dimensional on there. So let's just move this bow around. So if you like, you can take a glue dot. I think I'll just do that. Let's grab a glue dot. And I'm going to just make this ribbon go the way I want it to go. Down like that. There we go. So isn't that pretty? Happy Easter. So pretty. And okay, so let's just do another thing to it. I can't not put bling on stuff. It's just become a thing I gotta do. So I've got here, I had here some bling. Oh, here we go. Here it is. These are the 3 pack tinsel gems. So there is Lost Lagoon, dog hair, or cat hair, I don't know, or gem hair, I'm not sure which. Let me get my table tool. Just lost one. Come back, you. Lost, oh, it's because the glue fell off of it. That's a way I can tack that back on after. Come off you. Lost Lagoon, Fresh Freezer, and Misty Moonlight. So Misty Moonlight is kind of the darker color that I use there. So I will use that and they'll work. And I just kind of like to go where there's empty spaces to kind of frame it a bit. But you can do whatever you want. Of course, odd numbers is key to doing this. So, you know, do 3 or 5 or 7 or whatever. So there we go. It's just a little bit of blingy on there. A little bit of shine. You could add some, let's just do this, Wink Stella on here. Always loved my Wink Stella. Just a little bit here on the petals. Might not show on the video, but I'm going to try and it would be really cute on these, all these little flowers too, just a little bit in the center, just a little bit of bling. So I'm going to show you 2 more things before you leave me. So I'm just going to see if the glitter shows up there. I'm not sure, but how pretty is that? Love those colors together, petal pink and boho blue and misty moonlight. So here is another one I made. So I did a happy birthday on this one instead of the happy Easter, but you can see it totally works. And the set I used was this one. It's called Best Family Ever. And so it's got lots of things, all the people you can think of. And then it's got You're in My Thoughts, Happy Birthday, which is what I used, like Best Ever, Bonus, Thanks, and Wonderful Congratulations from Your to My Love. So all these things. So let me just show you what I'm going to do with this birthday card here. Not the one for you guys, the Happy Easter card. But I've got, let's see here. So I've got the Happy Birthday already, and then I'm going to add Petal Pink. Let me just get this out of the way for a second. I'll bring those back in a minute. And I'm going to do Misty Moonlight, just because it'll be a little darker. And I'm going to put on here To My. And then I'm going to put Bonus. Mom. So my dad's wife, my dad is remarried since my mom passed away. And so I'm going to give this to his wife. His birthday is today. So to my bonus mom. So I will put that right inside here and attach it down like so. And won't that be a beautiful birthday card? So let me pull those both back in for a second. And I'm going to just check your comments. If as you see me closing the pads, all you do is you just pull that little ledge there and flip them over and slide them closed. Okay, it's like a little compact is all it is. Okay, let's see here what you guys are saying. Nicole says, it almost looks peach on camera. It is a pinky peach. Very much a pinky peach, Nicole. So pretty. Shared Marina says, thank you, Marina. Maybe it looks peach because I always have the light blue filter. Oh, that could be. Yes, it's definitely, it all still depends on what you pair it with. I would say it does look peach actually because of the blue. So maybe your blue filter, but it is a pinky peach. Here is just as a reference, Pretty in Pink. So you can see it very much looks peach against that. But here is I was going to do something with this designer series paper in an envelope. But you can see that looks more peach too. So it just depends. What's this one here? I think this is Pretty in Pink too. So yeah, it's funny. I've been having this discussion with my son this week because he called something pink when it was, to me, was very much purple. And so I kept showing him things all week. Well, what color do you think this is? What color do you think this is? And he kept saying, that's pink. I'm like, no, that's purple. Fresh Freesia was one of the things. He goes, that's pink. I'm like, no, it's a pink purple. Figula says she loves the stamp set. It's very pretty. Laura says, beautiful. You have so many helpful hints to share on great artistry. Well, Laura, you just made my day. Thank you so much. I enjoy sharing, so thank you for watching and checking it out. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, so to get in on my draw for this card, be sure to comment, like, and share, and I'll put you in my draw for next week. I'm wishing you all a very wonderful weekend, and I can't believe it's Friday already. The week just flew by. Have a great weekend. Drop me a comment if you're watching this later, and I will be back again next week. So take care. Thanks again for watching, guys. Bye-bye now.